Match number 8, we go again. Pansy and D-Man, take it away.
So here we go, thank you very much. Final game of the day, and what a belter we've had so far. Some 3 cracking games today, and we're hoping it can only improve. It is a western, more westerly plane, I should say. It is slightly off-center, It is going to cause problems for the likes of FaZe Clan, the Knights, TSM, and anybody else that maybe feels going that way. TSM hopping over to Sosnovka, it seems.
Maybe just looking for vehicles quickly because they know other teams heading out further east might pick them up. It's a nice mentality if that's what they're going for, maybe feeling that's their best route to get towards Milta. Beyond that, though, again, we have to
FaZe are going north.
FaZe, yeah, I'm about to say. They're one of the teams that would have suffered from this plane path, so they've clearly got another plan in mind. Whether they go North George, Zaki maybe, I don't know.
Well, Zaki's actually not bad these days.
No, it's fine. It's fine loot.
Well,
like all of this, all of this area is perfectly fine. I mean, it just depends what they want. Maybe just looking for the cars on the road and then going to go towards North George.
Nobody goes North George, do they? It's weird, really.
Did we just see a knock early on?
Think of the old days, you know, sort of TSM and a Vanguard in there. But yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure we must have seen a knock because look, it's Reciprocity and Vitality again.
No, I saw a G2 icon, so I don't know if they got knocked coming out of the car or something
yeah,
weird.
they're down the bottom here. He's back in his feet already.
Okay, so that's fine. Nothing too much to write home about, but that Vitality Reciprocity fight, we saw very early on that it's not comfortable. And
Shiv's dead.
Shiv's gone. There it is. So we've lost down 1 already. I did have a quick chat to old Hayes, and he said, we know everything they do. We know exactly how they want to play. It's a matter of executing it. And today, Vitality are on point.
See, it's funny because, you know, obviously we talk to them and they're like, yeah, they're all confident about scrims and, you know, it's going well in our way. But you never know whether a team is just toying with you and basically like learning your patterns. Like, okay, let's try dropping this building and see what they do. Okay, they do this approach. Let's try dropping this building and see what they do. Okay, they try dropping this approach. And now we're seeing Reciprocity, all 3. They've clearly come into this one and said, okay, we all need to be in the same compound this time. But that limits your loot because if there's only a certain amount of guns in there, that's a fiery building. Certainly amount of loot in the building, in the apartments, and it's Vitality. You've got the freedom of the city right now. They're running around, they're looting happily, and Reciprocity are stuck in one building.
Yeah, not good.
Ooh, Gustav, TSM all
Chris.
coming over the bridge, and there's Chris is right next to them.
I don't know if he's gonna. Yeah, he doesn't have the gun for it.
He only has a micro Uzi.
Yeah, so that you know, TSM do get away with it, which is nice for them. They actually manage to get into the area they want to. I like their approach. It does give them cars and other options. It could have been a bit scary if G2 had kind of moved or shuffled a little east because they didn't see TSM dropping with them. Obviously, you're aware of who's around you when you're dropping. These guys know exactly where people like to go. And FaZe actually with this circle, what an absolute touch for them.
Yeah, this has worked out well for them. Obviously, them being in the northern side as Rafi holds the angle. Jazz is the other side of the wall, so it's not quite as exciting as you think it is right there. But now he's peeking towards it. Now he just flashes past, and Rafi holds the angle. So he's got tier 2 helm. He's got himself an AK. Does he have a vest on? Can't tell from that angle. I wonder what else. Scoom's now looting, so I think they're taking it in turns to hold the angles, and then one runs out and loots, trying to do what they can. Meanwhile, Shadow in the distance looting, Kramer happily looting. Nasus and Jazz are the ones holding the angles.
And the thing is, the early teams who like to get those quick rotations, get those players into forward positions, we're seeing a beautiful death move out, set move out. They're already trying to claim those very central compounds. They are opting for a more northern side on this. Team Liquid are on the way as well. A couple of teams already putting players into place and skimping on the loot.
They go very near Iro. Iro's already heard the vehicle coming. That's Team Liquid. Iro himself in a vehicle, so Team Liquid will hear that as well. So Digital Athletics, of course, I would say they've been a little greedy with their loot. They're taking Watertown and Rozhok, and obviously, as you mentioned, Beautiful Death already over there. Meanwhile, this circle, as you mentioned, FaZe Clan, the fact that they went into Zaki and North George, this is perfect for them. Nobody else is up in that corner. Nobody else at all. So they can come in with the knowledge that their backs are safe and they can slowly work their way in.
It'd be a very unorthodox rotation route for anyone else as well to go that far out. I mean, you might see it if someone gets really pressured, and I'm sure that potentially Fuzzface might see it or hear it, excuse me. So they are in a really lovely spot. No one's going to come from the east for them because you can't go on the long rotation in the blue around. No one's going to do that at like approach. So for them, they have relatively really good safety to work forward.
The only team that might do it is M19 might come up this big western road and then go over the West Bridge, which they have done in the past, I believe. I don't know if it was M19, but somebody's definitely done it. Somebody somewhere did it. That's really great commentary, because it's really big insight. FaZe Clan, though, they have done this approach, I think about 2 or 3 times. I seem to remember in Phase 1 that they came up this way. Because again, it's a strange one, right? How basically North Georgia
Chris
Bowl
creeping up.
Yeah.
He's got a much better gun this time as well.
How North Georgia Bowl's he's only got T1 helmet, T2 vest though. How North Georgia Bowl basically became this no man's land that nobody uses anymore. Nobody loots. I mean, even think of the Global Summit. There was barely anyone going there. There was just like a backup option, if anything.
Might be just because it's a very hard. Oh, look at this.
It's
Chris is just
lacking
gonna
vehicles,
sit there
I think,
and
maybe.
hold the angle. He heard the car pull up, so he's going to sit there, lean in, pop, pop.
That's
That should be a
ahead.
kill,
Oh, you're done.
and it is.
Yeah, you're done.
Very nice. That's a freebie. Perfect. No one even to come back and trade for it. TSM are still a mile away, and he's not going to lose it.
In fairness, that is G2's territory. That's been marked as Chris's territory for a while. So TSM were kind of a little greedy, I would say, going into that, maybe thinking they're not there. Winstrike, they've got themselves set up just over the building. I think it's
The
CrowCrowd that are
yeah.
actually nearby there. So they've got themselves the kind of set up. Yeah, see Kemba in the distance. He's down to nothing, but he's going to get himself healed up. So Winstrike catching a couple off guard. He may catch NA, but actually NAP were going for it and have already heard the shots and instantly pulled away on the minimap. So they're withdrawing from that one. I think we may be going to get a little look at it. Here we go. Oh, and he just catch Vard out. That's why they're pulling away. They've lost a player.
Yeah, it makes sense. CrowCrowd can get really nice. Oh dear, Miraku has gone. That's awkward. Maybe they're just trying to find quick positions. The fight still continues over by the apartments. Nothing too much there, but that is going to be a very, very lively position. That north of the river, sort of hillside. It is going to be littered with teams of Digital Athletics up there, ENCE up there, CrowCrowd up there, Winstrike not far off, and FaZe when they start heading south, and Raise Your Edge if they head east. So a lot of teams are already going for this.
No, he's just cocked up. I thought he'd pulled up, but I think he actually just screwed up. And Orange is going to maybe take a couple of shots in his back. No, just scouting it, making sure he gets a peek. Pittsburgh Knights looking at the liquid compound. It's obviously a long way outside the circle, so just more pulling up and having a little peek at loots as they continue on their path towards the south side of Yasnaya.
That southeastern road coming up from Milta heading north is, again, very busy.
Brex goes out his vehicle. He's going to take some shots on them.
Would not be surprised. I'm waiting to see who maybe cops a lot of those bullets coming out, because that is a very busy rotation route just coming up from Milta. That's going to keep G2 in there, Unity in there. TSM have pulled up, as you said, so this is not them. This is the Knights.
The northernness is rubbing off on you.
Why?
Cop for it. Cop for it. You're getting, yeah, there's a bit of... Hello. Now come on, Wanted. So... we just saw with Dave, put your hand up if you've never run over a teammate.
Chris is trying to steal that as well.
Definitely can do that. Yeah, Chris actually is trying to steal it. He may get it as well. TSM, they've lost one already. It was 2 G2. Now they're taking some return shots.
G2.
Actually, right in their back. Brexco's about to take him down. If they're not careful, they're not looking at it.
They have no idea. It's G2 are folding in towards TSM, and they have no clue of this. Yeah, Gustav's been lost. TSM were trying to pop up the shots towards the Knights, because Rory relayed the information.
His vehicles are behind him. He can't go to his vehicle, so that is a horrible run. That is, okay, he's got support coming in. Pick me up, please. Gustav will go down. Brexco catches him.
Unity pulled up.
G2 catching 2 members of TSM, and now Unity coming out of nowhere. Orange catching onto Brexco. The circle hard shifts down to the southwest.
No one expected that. Na'Vi play it quite late on these circles. They kind of moved in towards the south anyway. Team Liquid in a really good jump-off spot. Everyone is going to move here. They all know it's going away from that river.
M19 got so lucky because they were on the way going over the West Bridge, and they turned around like, oh, okay, let's go to the mountain. This is great. We can catch it. As you say, Na'Vi are going to have the pick of the lot. Which compound do you want? It's going to be the North Chopsticks 2 compounds, I think they're going to go for, which are very strong. Winstrike themselves are going to go into the yellow houses that FaZe just came out well in. Meanwhile, Digital Athletics trying to pop shots onto ENCE as they go by. He caught Squeaky, so Squeaky's down. There's nothing you can do about that one, so ENCE will lose one. That's the vehicle exploding in the distance.
Yeah, this is scary for all those teams that went to the north that were sitting really pretty. Oh, Mikas. The car's gone, and so has he. That's the tab finding it. CrowCrowd happy with that, and they get the kill, even though there might have been a little bit of an idea of a steal. I don't think anyone was close enough by. They are fine. FaZe have made it through to the east of Georgia Pole. Raise Your Edge not far off. They might go even deeper away from that one. This is going to throw a lot of teams into a bad position.
Rory's still on foot, bless him. He's like, oh my god. G2 decided to swing it south, so did Unity. Wookie's also going that way direction. Yeah, and so, I mean, this is simply a case of all the teams that, you know, if you looked at the circle, you would say yes, north. But no, the fact that it's just swung the way we've just finished it has surprised everyone, including ourselves. It was a hard shift.
These two teams are still here. Kramer's moved off early, though, which is good for them because they can set up and hold them back. Shadow's done the same thing. Rafi, Scoob, and Haxetti probably still have that one building they started in, so God knows what loot they've got.
Yeah, it's going to be trash. They've not come out of there. They actually are still in the same apartments building. They've barely come out of it. Has Haxetti maybe moved out of it? No, they're still all three in the same apartment they've been the entire time. Now, I'm no expert, but if you're trying to show a team that you are dominating this loot spot, staying 3 people in the same compound for 11 minutes is not really the way I'd go about it.
Oh, how is that bike still going? Don't mess this up. If you are on the back of that, Orange is just holding on for dear life, dipping into the blue.
Don't find a ridge line.
Yeah, please. You know what those fields are like. We've all been there. We've all done it. And Raise Your Edge did opt for the longer swing here. So they really went the long way.
FaZe went for the mountain. Raise Your Edge coming in behind them here, we can see now. So they're just going to be scouting. You can see FaZe Clan up on the ridge line there, up on the top of the mountain. Winstrike got themselves in the compounds. Na'Vi did go for the double split. Actually, a really greedy split. They've got the double split by Chopsticks, and they've got the hillside of Pachinki. That is a massive spread with TSM just wedged in between.
And I quite like it because no one's got information in the south, really. No one really knows where teams are, so they don't know if it's another team up there, 2 teams, whatever. They have no information on this.
Raise Your Edge coming down south still. They may bump into NIP and Gatka here. There is that little compound. I think that's what Fast Rail's going to go for. He's going to pull up in that compound and scout it first. Meanwhile, of course, we still have Reciprocity and Vitality out on the edge of the circle. Phase 2 squeezing in, and they're still out there, and it's Nasus. He is collecting so many Reciprocity kills.
Look at these circles. Oh, you love to see it.
Dear.
Who sat there
Team
pressing
Liquid's
the buttons?
happy. Team Liquid's happy, yeah.
So are Digital Athletics. They're laughing. They're having a sick time. Oh, sweet summer child, Scoom. Didn't expect NASA still there. Yeah, this is scary, scary times. And so it literally just shifted super far southeast, and it's gone. Sorry, southwest, and it's gone back east. This is really brutal for a lot of the teams.
Yeah, this is some big hard rotations. This is not pretty. CrowCrowd. CrowCrowd are piling in towards Watertown, and Digital Athletics are there, ready and waiting. Sixmo maybe going to catch them out. Rafi does get Kramer down there. Sixmo doesn't need to snake it this time. Takes Senpai down, and CrowCrowd now they're thinking, what do we do? They're in that horrible island just off Watertown. There's nothing on that island. It is exposed and open to everyone. You can see the Knights are off on the side.
Yeah.
They're going to, because they're going to go. Watertown's occupied. Go to that way. Oh, the Knights just took shots on them. Meanwhile, NIP lose 2 in the transition. Tixu catching them off. You can see Set. Where's he going to go? He's going for the hillside of Rozhok, and that's really all he's got available.
Yeah, there's nothing here. There really is sweet F-all. So I do not envy CrowCrowd. They're still safe enough, but it's just not where you want to be. But then again, would you want to be in the south? Look how many teams still need to find a way through.
Where's, like, look at the, yeah, like you say, where's Winstrike going to go? They have this compound with the ridge coming towards them, not Winstrike. They're holding the edge. Where's M19 going to go? There's not really any options. There's FaZe and Winstrike and Team Liquid all within each other, close to each other in the ruins. Unity, Raise Your Edge, Na'Vi all holding this line. TSM taking a big south swing. They're actually going south of Pachinki right now to swing around and maybe come into Poor Man's Rozhok or something, yeah.
Oh, this is rough. This is very, very rough. A lot of teams are going to struggle on this one once that circle moves in.
NIP gone.
Yeah, NIP, well, they were the ones who were being kind of just worked down time and time again. No meds on Rafi. Bleeds out. Kind of a common thread here with these guys. Sadly, the loot is just so
still
subpar.
in the same apartment building they landed in. So yeah, not going well. He's giving the cover fire for Tab there. Mert actually looks like he's moving into flank and get a position to shoot them. Yes, he is. There's Mert. There's a beautiful death. They're all taking pot shots. Kemba's been dropped as well, so CrowCrowd having a pretty bad day of it here on Erangel.
TSM have pulled up by Na'Vi as well.
Okay, so they ended up going into Pachinki. I'm not sure about that, because they were getting shot at by Pachinki, and their Rory's actually right on top of a doozy now. Raise your edge, they're still trying to find themselves a spot. Menox. I know he had a few words in Swedish for, like, you know, when he celebrated victory. I'm sure there's a few choice words that Sigsy just used in English.
Oh, that's marvelous. I'm really happy that just happened. And yeah, we expected that Rory's situation was not ideal, and it's certainly not. Wookie is still in the blue trying to work their way forward, but it's Na'Vi holding that line. It's their territory. They're going to get this southern side of the hill. I don't see Wookie getting out of that one, and there goes Raise Your Edge. Just instantly done for. Again, they were the ones of the teams that was struggling to find a way in. They were out on that western side that was just so rife with players. And as Wookie still stands, fragged out last time, he's going to have to do something similar here if he fancies getting past Na'Vi.
Hackset is still in the same apartment building. 16 minutes and counting. He's having a great game so far. Loving life, I think. The ex-former FaZe member. Speaking of FaZe, they got Winstrike coming right upon them because the circle has shrunk, and well, you wouldn't be too surprised to find it's hard shifted again, this time down to the south. Na'Vi on the edge of Pachinki inside it along with Wookie there.
Yeah, G2's got a nice spot as well. They're really nice. Winstrike, FaZe, Team Liquid, Digital Athletics, and ENCE. All of these teams out in the northwest side have got a lot coming their way, but in the south is the same. Unity running right up behind M19. So this could be another factor. Wookie has found one and punished. Bestalot has gone down. That's a big loss for Na'Vi. That should be a trade, and it is. Very good positioning from Pokemolodoy, keeping tabs on that going down.
And now FaZe and Winstrike connect. There we go. HC catching Nuki out there. So he's getting finished out. He's bleeding out pretty heavily. And now FaZe realize the danger that's upon them. As Jorski tries to pop the nades. Everybody trying to find those angles as Wanuki will bleed out. All is, of course, attention is being drawn. Samty taking shots on Mexi. So FaZe, this is the tail end of FaZe. They've actually tried to move in towards the ridges and the hills of ruins and trying to move away from this one. They've got to be careful. Rustanmar also coming in behind them as well. Haksedi's moved out of his apartment, ladies and gentlemen. 17 minutes and 30 seconds, and he's on the move.
Thank you, Haksedi. Don't think it's going to go too well for him. Don't know how far he's going to make it here. Stimmed up, trying to run it. I don't see it happening.
I mean, it's phase 4. He's going to be bleeding so heavily in that. But Vitality got out, of course, complete. So they are actually close to CrowCrowd right now. They've moved into poor man's Pachinki, I believe we like to phrase it. Blaston's going to get revived by Orange there as Iro catches Tripoli. That means leaves Rustamar, the last man standing now for ENCE.
Yeah, Dustish is in trouble, and Na'Vi overlook all of this. They're the ones who are the final standing bastion. All the CIS teams that are really clashing on this side. It's a big CIS battle. M19 are doing very well.
Yeah.
I thought they would have potentially been unfolded by now, but they've withstood the pressure. And there's a couple of the Unity players trying to find other options here, and I think Baston might have just been spotted as well.
Yeah, Pokemolodoy and Bestalosh continuing to rain those bullets down on towards them. Fuzzface sees one, catches a little blitz of Tixu there. Tizerin does go down. Is he going to drop nicely? It looks like he might. Oh, didn't quite do the damage. Now they're getting a couple returned in their favor. So they're going to have to smoke it around the side. FaZe have actually come back on this one. Yeah, Jorski taken down by Jeems, Team Liquid. So Samty and Jeems are both moving up from this one, Team Liquid. They're also having their backs covered because obviously they've got to worry about M19 behind Blaston. What did you just do? Did you just either deny points or try and smoke? I'm not too sure, but either way, he naded himself.
Yeah, and there we have it. So Winstrike in tatters at the moment.
Oh my god, another heart. That's 4 hard shifts back to back.
This is actually really horrible,
and
this game.
Goes up to the northeast. Wow. G2 are laughing. They've not moved in 3 phases because the circle's continuing to kind of keep them in it at the moment. Vitality also, who have just finally come out of the school apartments, actually coming into poor man's Pachinki, and it's free still. They were surprised, yeah.
I do not envy the teams here. Na'Vi are now in a bit of a predicament, working their way in. They do have the hillside, but it's very open, very, very visible.
This is rough terrain.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of hillsides and a lot of kind of, I guess, topography comes into play, but there's not much without your one part of your position being exposed to another angle that is likely to have teams in it as there's 11 alive, and a lot of players, 34 still. Na'Vi going to just run it in. M19 are watching this. This could be savage. Savage. Na'Vi on the run. Pokemon Line makes it. Senya not so lucky.
It's going to get stolen.
And
it's going to get stolen. They're not
stolen.
confirming it, and Chris stole it. They had a chance to confirm it, but they were looking for more. And in the end, Chris stole it away. It's all about confirming those kills.
Oh, look at all these teams.
Oh, Pokemon he tries to drive up to them. A doozy comes around the side. They're going to swing straight on him, and a doozy will go down, and Na'Vi will fall in 11th place. Rotation's not working out. Tixu's caught Fuzzface in the back. Little backstab there. Now Iroh's taking shots on the other side of FaZe Clan as they try and push on towards the remnants of Team Liquid. Both Samty and Jeems and FaZe Clan are in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, FaZe Clan are in danger. Tixu, the last standing bastion of hope, is removed, and as is Winstrike. FaZe do manage to keep 3 alive for now, but they are not in that new circle, and Team Liquid hold the line, as do Digital Athletics. And then ENCE in the background. There's so much vision on this. Vitality is still happy as a G2, and 19 have to find a way forward. And these are the teams that are about to struggle.
Yeah, FaZe totally being gate camped by Team Liquid now. There's really nowhere they can go, because if they go north, Iroh has a clean angle across the field. If they go south, well, M19 and Team Liquid are going to see them, so it's not good for them. The Mutant in action from Udyr. Did he have a bad loot session or what? I'm not too sure.
Ugh. Horrible gun. Horrible things. Chris is like, oh, look, I'll do it for you. The mini's fine.
It's been improved. Chris gets it for him. And there they go. I was about to say, if they turn to the left, they will see FaZe. But now the Blues on the backs. Constantine, I think the Wanderer's just going to bleed out in this one, hoping he can get a couple of shots off and seeing if the play zone will take him to it. Meanwhile, FaZe continuing to lay the smoke down and push. They can't go over that ridgeline because Team Liquid are right there.
Yeah, Team Liquid wait. They've been waiting for this moment to pounce. FaZe know that they're only alive due to these smokes, as here come those final shots. It's G2 to spot them out as they decided to go for the southern side approach, maybe feeling this ridgeline will keep them safe for a second, as it does. The circle moves north. Digital Athletics, this is your game to win.
How has Rustin Mars snuck behind
No
EA?
one knows.
He has snuck through Watertown. He's inside in that building as well. So he has the full defense, and he's got a Groza, so he's level 3'd up.
Digital Athletics are pushing. A Beautiful Death and Iroh are pushing out. This is the team that we saw during the Cup stage. They were aggressive on these situations, but the problem is it leaves them thin, and I'm not sure if this is the time because you're moving in towards Liquid. Unless the position they're about to get is incredibly strong, it's dangerous, and they're fighting someone else here. You've got 6-0 and Mert looking towards the Knights. They're trying to keep them at bay on the eastern side, but Team Liquid are just over that ridge side. Once they go over, there's danger everywhere. Iroh and A Beautiful Death have to be up to the challenge.
G2.
They found Uber. They found one of FaZe.
G2 can sandwich them as well, because Team Liquid, they can't go over the ridge line right now, and now they're going to get shot in the back. Team Liquid in all sorts of trouble. FaZe down to 1 at the moment. They're going to get him back on his feet. Chris managing to pick up more kills. Iroh going for it, sees Ibby, does manage to get the down, but he has to quickly back away. He's got the clean support on that side of the hill. He knows that the Knights are not going to pressure them, and CrowCrowd, meanwhile, they're going to drop. That's over on the eastern side to Vitality. Udyr is still trying to use that Mutant and realizing it is trash.
He's doing the best he can, Lee. He's really giving it a good go. But we are seeing the move up now from G2. All of them starting to run it, and they have to fight their way there, and that is exactly what they're doing. FaZe on the receiving end, down to 1. Uber only alive because of that smoke. As actually, we're seeing the Knights. I was worried about this. There's an angle that the Knights had onto the likes of Iroh and A Beautiful Death. They were open on it. That is why you saw Mert and 6mo initially holding that position to deny it. But the Knights found a little dip to work from, a little angle to peek up from. So that's why you're seeing it. Braxigo has found the last man of FaZe.
You know, the team that's benefiting from this is Vitality. Look at the eastern side of the circle. There's nothing there. Of course, they don't have great cover, but Chris is going for it. Beast mode coming out from Chris. Wants to get into nade range. Straight towards Liquid. They're not going to be expecting this. He's coming across. That's going to catch Samty. Does a big chunk of damage. The second one comes in towards Ibby. They're thinking, what's happening? And look at the field of fire that G2. They all come over the ridgeline and try and pepper G2. Team Liquid and Samty, they're just going to have to lay some smokes down.
But Vitality could spoil this. Vitality saw Chris. He had to back off. That has saved Team Liquid for a second as Chris looked so aggressive. This is that push out from Vitality, just getting past CrowCrowd, just crushing them in the way. So Vitality control the east. In the north, it's still the Knights. We still have Digital Athletics left with only 3. Rustamar is still alive. Team
Chris is
Liquid,
going.
and Chris is off on his mission again. The solo man, Braxico, fancies a bit of the action too.
The nade's coming in from Chris again. Keep your eye on the left-hand side of your screen because there's
Here comes
about to be
one
a
from
nade
Braxico.
rolling in at the moment. They're going to keep around the side. Braxico in there. There's the nade. Oh, he catches both cars. Now he gets a peek and sees them. Chris manages to find Genty. Lines up another nade coming towards him. Braxico's pushing around the side. Look on the right-hand side of your screen. Braxico's about to come right behind them as he sneaks around the side. Sees Santi, sees Jeans. Easy for him. Lying in wait. No chance. And Team Liquid obliterated by a very aggressive G2.
But has he pushed too far? Vitality have a glimpse on this. G2 are getting the kills, sure, but they've lost out on Chris here. Ibby is still alive. He is trying to hold on with everything he can to keep Team Liquid in this round. Vitality played spoiler. Braxico now needs to clean this out completely. He does. He succeeds where Chris just fell slightly short, but what a play from him.
12 kills and some serious aggression later. G2 will get 4 back on their feet. Vitality find themselves now on the tail end of the circle. They now have to push in to this powerhouse of Germans that they've just seen obliterate Team Liquid. Meanwhile, the Knights, they're trying to move. Digital Athletics are going to try and light them up as they come into the UAZs. Mert tries to catch out. That's Snart going down. Real's the last man standing on the bike. He's got one on the back as well. It's wanted, and they just get themselves into a ditch, but I think they're going to be visible to Vitality.
They are. Reels has gone down. The smoke was too late. They couldn't do any quicker. Wanted with a bit of a fadeaway. They're going to keep Braxico humble at least. And G2 take a second to maybe compose themselves. The nades roll in from other sides, and it will be the Knights gone. Good nade from Sixmo, claiming both.
Rustamar still alive, still at the back of that house, still could cause spoilers for DA, but G2 now with 4 on the hillside turn their attentions towards Vitality. NASA's picked off 12 kills and counted for G2. This could be a monster performance for them, but Sixmo's made the move and they're coming around the back, but G2 realize they're coming straight around and catching on towards them. Sixmo down.
They've managed to keep back Vitality for now by taking down Nasus. This keeps pressure up, but Shadow, big response with a mini, gonna just claim Braxico's scalp. And now G2 down to 2, Vitality with 2 standing.
That's a big
this
call.
is the time Iroh's on the move as well. He's trying to get up towards where Sixmo was. This could be the perfect time to apply that final bit of pressure, but it looks like G2 are so focused, they're tunnel visioning, and Shadow is giving them a reason as to why.
There's nades rolling still through. I don't think there's too much utility left for G2, actually. They've tossed so many nades out, so Iroh's got him back on his feet. Sixmo up, Braxico bleeds out. Now Mert making the move. Kate gets caught out. Jazza takes him down, and G2 are falling. Chris, the last man standing, gets Jazza. Can he get Shadow as he tries to go for the peak? The bike is rolling towards him. The bike was rolling, but Iroh pops over the hill, and G2 will fall. It's 4th place for them as DA hold the hill.
This is unbelievable. This is a big revive coming in, but it looks like Digital Athletics are moving up on this, but they might have forgotten one element, and it's the lone Finn holding his calm, being composed, waiting for the final moments to move forward. He's still in the north.
He's creeping behind. They're not looking. Nobody's going to look.
So if you're Rustamar right now, you will want to be the last thing they ever think about. You are going to wait for these two to fight. Once you see that kill feed filling up with names, you try and get involved. You do not want to get into a fight with 2 teams.
And the problem is, if he goes too early, Shadow and Jazz are actually going to shoot at him thinking he's part of DA.
Correct.
And they're going to look over that hill in a second. Shadow, you can see with the mini already peeking.
He has to move up, though.
Shots coming in. That's Sixmo and Iroh popping down towards Shadow. Mert's trying to be that difference maker. Rustamar level 3'd up with the Groza.
He's biding his time. He will not move until he has to. That is
actually, he only has level 2
long
helmet,
way.
so I don't know what part of it he got. Does he?
He could have the vest potentially. He's going to be playing in case there is that last man alive.
Does he have a vest?
Iroh's just turned around and looked. I don't know if they've got an idea, an inkling, or what, but they just considered maybe someone's there.
I'd love to see the front of Rustamar, because I don't think he's got a vest on.
He's been spotted. Sixmo's seen him. It's game over. Rustamar, time to dance. He's going to get a good tag, though, on Sixmo. Oh, he stayed alive.
And he's got
now
the
this
flush.
is go time. This is go time. He's going to run forward, but if you're Vitality, you move on this. Because suddenly there's threats everywhere. Iroh spraying in. It will be Iroh to claim it as well. ENCE go down, as we're now down to a 2v2.
So here we go. Vitality used that advantage to get themselves a little more movement on the hillside. They've managed to sneak around, but Iroh has a great line down, and Iroh just guns both down in a line.